I'm Carolyn Holzman, and this is Confessions of an SEO. Usually I try to keep my weekly confessions to 15 minutes, give or take. Season 6 has decidedly turned out to be just a little more SEO-ish. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 11 of Confessions of an SEO. As I've been making clear, I've gone all in on using what I know about what helpful content measures to create an actionable future where both SEO, search, and AI are our partners in good faith. We work to represent our expertise through our words, and they will reward us, if not with clicks anymore, citations that will build a view for others to see our expertise and allow us to earn new business and grow our existing businesses. Now, this newly minted ecosystem has been a rough road for the search industry, having, to fork off and become also an answer industry as well. And here's where I'd like to be able to say, and everyone lived happily ever after. But are we headed into that mutually respected future? Maybe, maybe not. And I think we probably want to have a greater understanding of what is at risk and how European publishers are leading the charge. There's a study done by Search Engine Ranking, SE Ranking, to get a view on what gets cited most in AI mode responses in Google. This is forget this is a search engine and give me the answer right now mode, where you're only interacting with Gemini, which recently started to reference Google.com. So SE Ranking wanted to get a closer look at just how much the AI mode was citing Google as a source. Are you ready for this? In June 2025, Google's self-citation rate in AI mode was around 5.7%. By February, their self-citation rate increased to 17.42%. And that's of all the citations. So if we want to put that in perspective, that 17.42 is more than the next 6 domains combined. And the next 6 domains are YouTube, Facebook, Reddit, Amazon, Indeed, and Zillow. Google links to themselves and these AI answers over 3 times more now than they did 7 months ago. You sense a trend? In the SE Ranking study, which reviewed 1.3 million citations, Google.com ranked as the number 1 top-cited source in 19 of the 20 niches they analyzed. And when you add YouTube, what that translates to is now nearly 1 in 5 of those citation sources, are Google-owned. Now, in short, Google isn't just positioning itself as an answer engine, it's positioning itself to be a self-referential system or ecosystem. So, we do know that Google loves itself and will always do whatever it can to keep users on their properties. But they might be taking it just a little too far. And here's where I want to draw a line on good faith partners and IP laundering. That's intellectual property laundering. So it's easy to see it as, in some ways, a broken promise. SEO and creators work in good faith to make our content better, more topical, and original, following Google's own helpful content guidelines. Not the ones they gave us, right, but the ones that we've gleaned either through research or actually in performance, where good content is topically connected and bad content is duplicate in whatever various forms it can be and disconnected topically. So the reality is Google uses our content as training data, and then they provide the answer directly without attribution. Hell, they even have a patent that says they can take your landing page, the one you worked on, and recreate an AI-generated version of it tailored to a specific user's. They'll change whatever they want. You can look it up. Google filed the patent about a year ago and it was granted last month. That doesn't mean they're doing it right, but Did you get that? Because they only have the answer to cite back to a user that asked them because they trained on our content. And there's no citation to our content because now our answer is on their own property, and thus that's theirs. So no citation is required, or so they want us to believe. So that's what I mean when I say it's like intellectual property laundering. And that is also the basis of the European Publisher Council's February 2026 complaint. It is explicitly using the term IP theft machine. Google takes your private intellectual property, your expert insights, and runs it through Gemini to make it look like it's public knowledge. In other words, Google's answer. Now, I'll use the words from the complaint, and they're worth listening to. Quote, "This complaint is not about resisting innovation or artificial intelligence. It's about stopping a dominant gatekeeper from using its market power to take publishers' content without consent, without fair compensation, and without giving publishers any realistic way to protect their journalism. AI overviews and AI mode fundamentally undermine the economic impact that has sustained the open web," unquote. At its heart, this complaint is if Google is going to do this, it kind of forces an extortion-style deal. Google says, allow us to harvest your content for AI for our use and no citation. Or you will just need to de-index yourself from traditional search. Your call. Which, of course, we don't have to look far to see some of the damage that has been caused. But even so, bottom lining it, it's answer theft. IP laundering is the theft of the answer. Legally, Google is creating derivative works without a license. They're stripping away our branding, our ads, our attributions. And this isn't a ranking problem. It's a battle over who owns the expertise. Google is laundering the value of your work into their own answer layer, at least for now. And here's what I think. If we go back to the DOJ ruling in September, and that was the antitrust case where the court said, Google, you're a monopoly. And they put forth a remedy. Now, like water will fill up whatever container it's in, humans will, by nature, find loopholes. And so I love the way this is called something like sharing the shell but keeping the nut, right? It looks like you're conforming with the letter of the law, but perhaps not the spirit. The remedy by the court was to force Google to share its search index snapshot. That's just the order of the results, right? Nothing behind it, just the order of the results. So Google did that. But what they also did was, in a way, future-proof something they could call their own. By shifting over the answer layer in Gemini, Google is moving the value away from the index and into their proprietary AI knowledge layer, which is not covered by the index sharing rules. Okay, people, here's our index. Meanwhile, they're creating a layer where they can say no one else can claim it because it's their intellectual property. So is it? Is that fair? Is that defensible? I don't know where we're going to land on this, but I sure do respect the European Publishers Council for filing this complaint. It would be great if someone here in the U.S. could. A class action. We all have standing. This is our work. This is our expertise, our ability to generate a living. I know it's going to sound funny, but let your elected representative know our IP is just as important to us as theirs is to them. And I don't begrudge Google carving out their own IP, but I don't think the path to what Google wants should mean nullifying ours. That's it for me this week. Now, I do have to mention Vizex because I am so excited about it. It's the world's first helpful content analysis tool that will help you create that sort of tight cluster of semantic topics. And it's available now for WordPress or HubSpot. There's more on the way, but those are the two you can use it on now. The difference isn't more content, it's connected content. Go to vizzex.ai. That's vizzex.ai and learn more. And of course, now, more than ever, AI makes the indexation of your content into Google and Bing essential. So don't leave it a chance. Check out Indexzilla, which is my indexer tool, and you can find it at indexzilla.io. Thank you for being a listener, and until next week, I'll see you in the SERPs.